Hello everyone and welcome back to my Premier League predictions. Today I am predicting the Game Week 7 fixtures of the 2022/23 Premier League season. We had some very high scoreline games last week, so let's see what happens this week. Starting off at the earlier 12:30 kickoff on the Saturday, which is Fulham against Chelsea. Big rivalry this. Not many people think it, seeing that Fulham are always up and down in the Championship and Premier League, and Chelsea's always solidly in the Premier League, but very big rivalry this. Fulham's last game did end in a 2-1 defeat against Tottenham. Their other defeat so far this season was also against Arsenal, another London rival, where that again ended in a 2-1 defeat as well. So, well, apart from that, they've had a really solid start to the season. They're currently in 10th place, coming up against Chelsea side who did beat West Ham 2-1 in their last game as well. But both sides, you could say, maybe picking up their fair amount of defeats in the last couple of games as well. Chelsea losing to Southampton as well. Let's not forget about that. Just the fixture before that, but this game. Will it be the exact same scoreline as the same when Fulham have faced the other London clubs, or because it's a derby, will Fulham just go that one step higher and really try to get something out of this game? I'm going to go for a draw in this one. Shock result. I am going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think it'll be big, high scoreline. I hope there's going to be goals. There should be. It's a big derby. Hope to see lots of action in it, and I'm going to go for a draw in this one, 2-2. Aubameyang probably will not be available to play for Chelsea yet. Of course, he did sign on deadline day from Barcelona, but he's still got that broken jaw problem, I think, as well. I'm not sure how far he is off recovering, but it'll be interesting to see when he is fit how well he does for Chelsea, seeing that he literally was with Arsenal just a couple of seasons ago, coming to their rivals. But we'll wait and see what happens with that. But in this game, I'm going to say 2-2. And then next up, we've got Bournemouth against Brighton, where Bournemouth came back from 2-0 down against Nottingham Forest at half-time, and then ended up winning it 3-2 in that very big comeback. Coming up against the Brighton side, who scored lots as well in their last game, a 5-2 victory over Leicester City. Another big scoreline game there. In this game, though, I just feel like Brighton, they've had a really good start, and against Bournemouth, I just can't see how they can muck this up. So I'm going to go for Bournemouth 0, Brighton 2. A little bit of a tricky one this, seeing that Bournemouth have just scored 3, but against the Brighton side, who has been impressive so far this season, I think it'll be a tough game for Bournemouth, and I'm going to go for a Brighton victory. Next up is Leicester City against Aston Villa. Both sides are struggling. Leicester City still yet to pick up their first victory of the season. As I did say above, they lost 5-2 to Brighton. Aston Villa actually earned a very good point last time out. It was a 1-1 draw against Manchester City. Of course, Leon Bailey did score that late equaliser, which ended 1-1. But both sides are struggling. Will Aston Villa turn this around against Leicester City, who are conceding quite a lot of goals? Aston Villa aren't scoring many though at the same time, and Leicester City, that defeat against Brighton was very poor. Leicester City, they scored the 2 goals. They did well to break down Brighton's defence, but their own defence, especially the goalkeeper as well, Danny Ward, he's not a Kasper Schmeichel replacement for Leicester City whatsoever. So look, I think changes need to be made by Brendan Rodgers in this game, and I think they're going to pick up their first victory of the season. They're at home. I'm going to go Leicester 2, Aston Villa 1. Could be a bit of a shock scoreline this one, but Leicester surely have to pick up their first victory of the season soon. And against a struggling Villa side, this is probably the best opportunity they will get. Of course, Villa will want to do the exact same as well, because their form hasn't been the greatest as well. But I'm going to back Leicester City to bounce back from just this horrid start that they have had. But Brendan Rodgers has to make the right changes. So yeah, that's what we'll go with. 2-1 to Leicester City. We'll move on now to Liverpool against Wolverhampton Wanderers, where Wolverhampton Wanderers picked up a victory, narrow 1-0 victory over Southampton in the last game. Liverpool got a 0-0 draw in the Merseyside derby against Everton. And, Liverpool's midfield is pretty much out. It's pretty much injured. You've got Jordan Henderson, who's injured, Thiago, who's injured, which probably just leaves, Fabio Carvalho and Harvey Elliott and Fabinho in that midfield, which, isn't the best of midfields. It's not the strongest, but, it's pretty decent. I mean, lots of young talent in the midfield for Liverpool. Against the Wolves side, of course, always make it hard for Big Six teams. They always have a solid defence against them. Liverpool themselves have been struggling as well. Not really to score that many if we, ignore the 9-0 thrashing over Bournemouth. But I'm going to go for a Liverpool victory. I have to here at Anfield, but I'm going to go very close and a narrow 1-0 victory to the Reds in this one. And then we move on to the St Mary's Stadium now, where it is Southampton against Brentford, where another high scorer in Brentford's last game as well. It was Brentford 5, Leeds United 2 in their last game. Southampton, of course, lost in the narrow 1-0 victory over Wolves, which I did mention above. Could be a tome at St Mary's. Southampton have had some very good performances here this season. The one that stands out was the victory over Chelsea. Also, maybe the 1-0 defeat against Man United. I know they lost that one, but, against Man United, who could say it could be maybe still struggling. I don't know. It's hard to tell. We'll come on to them in a minute's time. But Southampton at home, we know they're not the greatest of sides, but they do have some pretty good performances at home. But against a Brentford side who's going to be high on confidence after scoring 5 in their last game against a pretty decent Leeds United as well. Ivan Toney getting a hat-trick. I am going to go for Southampton 1, Brentford 2. I am going to back both sides to score in this one, but I've just got to back the Bees to pick up all 3 points in this one. And then we move over to Manchester City against Tottenham. This is a big one because Tottenham did the double over them last season. In their last game, they beat Man City 3-2 at the start of the season. Last season, Tottenham did beat Man City 1-0. At the Etihad in this game, I mean, it's still going to be tight. We know how Manchester City plays at the Etihad. But Antonio Conte's Tottenham looking very strong so far this season. Both sides yet to pick up a defeat. And for that reason, I'm still going to, think that the run's going to continue. And I'm going to say both sides are going to pick up a point in this one. I'm going to just go for a 1-1 draw in this one. Maybe another bit of a shock result here, but I just feel like Tottenham, they definitely have enough here to keep Manchester City quiet. So, of course, Man City did pick up the 1-1 draw with Aston Villa, so it'll be 2 draws in a row for Manchester City. So, let's move on now to the Emirates. Arsenal against Everton. Arsenal did lose 3-1 to Manchester United in their last game, their first defeat of the season. Are Manchester United back? They had the bad starts, especially the 4-0 defeat over Brentford. And then they got the victory over Liverpool, a narrow victory over Southampton 1-0, a narrow victory over Leicester, and then absolutely maybe smashed Arsenal in that game very well. Of course, we're speaking about Man United here, and it's Arsenal and Everton here that are playing in this fixture. Arsenal have to bounce back from that. Everton 0-0 draw with Liverpool. Pretty good point for Everton, but still yet to pick up their first victory of the season, and I don't think it'll come here. I am going to back both sides to score, though. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Arsenal victory, though. This was a 5-1 victory to Arsenal last time these two sides did face last season. So, I don't think it'll be as high scoring, but still plenty of goals in this game to look forward to. And then it is on to London Stadium next, where it is West Ham against Newcastle United. Newcastle United pretty much only picking up draws so far this season. They have been playing well, but only picking up the 1 points. West Ham, pretty bad start to the season. I expect Newcastle United to pick up all 3 points in this one. I'm going to go for a very narrow 1-0 victory to the Geordies in this one. It was a 1-1 draw last time these two sides faced, so I think it'll be a very tough game. But I'm just going to back Newcastle to pick up all 3 points in this one. And then here we go. We finish off with the last 2 games. Here is Manchester United. As I was saying before, has their form turned around against Crystal Palace, who, against Manchester United do, have made it hard for United in the past. I mean, Man United did win this fixture 3-1 last season. I am going to back Man United to pick up all 3 points in this one because just that the run of form that they are on, I don't think anyone can stop them at the moment. I'll back both sides to score. I'll go 2-1 Man United. Crystal Palace will make it hard. I did originally actually have this down as a 1-1 draw, so that's how tight I do think that this is going to be. But I've just changed my mind at the last minute to edge United for the victory because Anthony looked really good again for Man United. Rashford was brilliant, and the midfield as well. Christian Eriksen, Scott McTominay had a really good game as well for a change against Arsenal, and that defence of Man United is looking solid with the Martinez and the Varane partnership at the back there. So yeah, I'm gonna change my mind and say Man United to pick up all 3 points, but it'll be a very, very tough away game for them, this one. And then we finish off with a big one as well. Leeds United against Nottingham Forest. These sides were championship clubs not too long ago, and when these two sides did actually face each other last, it ended in a 2-0 victory to Nottingham Forest when both of these sides were in the championship. Of course, the teams have changed around quite a lot since then, and Leeds United have had a pretty struggling past few games. I mean, of course, the 5-2 smashing, the defeat to Brentford, as I mentioned before, it'll be a hard one. They need to bounce back. Nottingham Forest, of course, aren't in the greatest of runs themselves. At Elland Road, though, the home support, I always say it, is fantastic at Elland Road, and I'm just going to say it'll get them through this game. I'm going to back both sides to score, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Leeds United to wrap up my Game Week 7 score predictions. So yeah, if you did enjoy, please do leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.